Good morning. Today we are still on innovation and enterprise, but today we want to talk about challenges, risk, and rewards for an entrepreneur. I want to talk about risk. Risks are simply the possibility of an unfavorable situation based on a business decision. So I'm going to read further. Risk, the possibility of an unfavorable situation based on a business decision. That is what a risk is. So it is possible for an entrepreneur, to face a personal or financial risk when the business fails. So we have two types of risk that an entrepreneur could face whenever a business fails. So we're going to start with the personal risk. Why is it called a personal risk? It is called a personal risk because as soon as the business fails, if the business fails, it simply means the owner of the business has made a poor decision, in quote, a poor decision. And that simply means that the reputation of the owner of the business might be affected. So for personal risk, if it fails, its reputation might be affected. So if an entrepreneur fails, it means he has made or she has made a wrong decision, and that might put his or her reputation, in line. That is personal risk. Therefore, financial risk is simply we're talking about monetary risk. So what is financial risk here? If the business fails, the entrepreneur might be losing the whole money, the amount of money he or she has invested into the money. So for personal risk, it's about the reputation of the owner of the business, and for financial risk, it's simply about the money invested into the business. So if the business fails, there could be personal and financial risk for the owner of the business. And for personal, it's about the reputation of the business, like I said, and for financial, it's about the money invested into the business. That's about risk. Then we go to rewards. For rewards, we're talking about any monetary or non-monetary benefits a business would gain based on the entrepreneur's decision. So for personal reward, possibility to decide his or her own work life. So because he's the owner of the business and business has succeeded, so it simply means the owner of the business has made a right decision and he or she can decide whatever he wants to do or she wants to do with her life or his or her life. That is personal. Then for financial reward, the financial reward is that the possibility of making more money than working for an employer. That is the personal reward, financial reward. For personal reward, the possibility to choose the kind of work life he or she wants. That is personal. He or she is the boss, so he decides or she decides whatever he wants to do or she wants to do with his or her life. Then for financial reward, the possibility of making more money compared to working for an employer. That is rewards and risk when it comes to an entrepreneur. Then we go to the intrapreneurship. I want to talk about intrapreneurship. An intrapreneur is an employee who has come up with innovative idea to support or to improve the work or to improve the operations of the employer. That's what an intrapreneur is. So I'm going to read further. An intrapreneur is an employee who comes up with innovative idea for the business which they are employed. They are employees, but because they come up with innovative ideas to improve the business, then they become intrapreneur. So what are the types of intrapreneurship we have? The first one is new work method. When we talk about new work method, we're talking about an employee coming up with an innovative idea on work practices that can save time and reduce waste or bring about efficiency. So when an employee comes up with a business idea that could improve the work practices to save time and increase efficiency, we call it new work method. Then the second one is new product and service. An idea to create a new product or service which can increase revenue and increase customer base and competitiveness. So it is also an entrepreneur if he or she has come up with a new product or service that would increase the numbers of customers and increase revenue and increase the competitiveness of the business or put the business ahead of its competitors, giving the business a competitive advantage. That's another type of intrapreneur. And the last one is adoption and modification. An idea that improves existing products to increase the product life cycle. So an employee might come up with a new idea or an innovative idea that would allow the product life cycle to expand or to extend by coming up with a way to improve the existing product. So these are types of intrapreneurship. Thank you.